Yo, 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 welcome to Sheba's Speakeasy and Comedy Show on Black History Month, February 1st. We know why y'all here. You here to see the one, the only, Sheba.
Thank you. It is Black History Month. And I think we got to talk about how white people are just so uncreative. Y'all just lack imagination. Like the only fictional stories white people can ever think of are like colonization, but with dragons. Imperialism, but in outer space. Slavery, but everyone's a wizard now. So ridiculous. It's very uncreative. I don't know what you got. You struggle to conceive of a world where y'all are not at the top of the hierarchy. Y'all's fantasy is domination. I'm sorry. I gotta be the one to say it, okay? It's me. It's gonna be me. Little baby sheeps. All right? Y'all's fantasy is domination. That is crazy. Oh my God, have you seen like those Israeli settlers? I'm doing this because like I'm not legitimizing them. What? In the same way they don't recognize Palestine, I'm not recognizing their legitimacy. No way. Anyway though, okay, you saw these like images of these Israeli settlers and they are at the border of at the entrance of Gaza, the entrance, because of course it's a like concentration camp. Okay, so these settlers are at the border. They're all these aid trucks because, you know, like all of these aid trucks trying to get food and water and medicine into a bunch of hostages that are starving to death and being murdered. And these Israeli settlers are like at the border being like, no, you can't come in. And so finally, they're the drivers who are, I guess, like Egyptian or something. They like come out and they're like, y'all have to move. Y'all are crazy. You need to move. And this one Israeli settler is like, you're our slaves. You're our slaves. Like, sir. Oh my God, that is not an acceptable comeback in 2024. What the heck? Oh my God, what have we been allowing? Those are some white people who have just not been checked in a while. They don't get it. Oh my God, they don't remember how things are. Like, ugh. White people are crazy. Anyway, case in point, did you hear recently there was this white man in Pennsylvania who beheaded his father? He did it because he was, the father was a federal employee. I'm a federal employee myself, so I'm just like, I know. But also like, oh man, another reason for a crazy white man to murder me? Great. Perfect. Really easy target for these crazy people. Yeah, anyway, okay, so he beheads his father for being a government employee and because he's like in this right-wing militia. He's super against Biden, which like, yes, that like you're right on that. Come on, like, ugh. Like, okay, that is correct, but like, what does beheading your father do? How does that help the collective? one less white man. But not cool. Not cool. Also, I know about this because he posted his father's severed head on freaking Facebook, on like Instagram, on YouTube or whatever. And it's just like, oh my God, these white men. And you know what? I know we're taught to be afraid of the Florida man, you know, right? Florida man. And like, I feel like we think of like, and don't get me wrong, they are crazy, but like, I think of Florida man like Donald Trump, you know, Florida man. Now, don't tell me that like, don't come in my comments being like, he's actually from New York, because he's got the heart of a Florida man. I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, they want us to be afraid of the Florida man, but you know who I think we need to be more afraid of? The Mid-Atlantic man. I know. Like Joseph R. Biden. Also, is it his like, doesn't the R stand for like rutabaga? It stands for like something ridiculous. Like not Robert. It's like Roberta or something. I don't know. Anyway. Mid-Atlantic man. Yeah, we got Joseph R. Biden. You know who we also got? Actually, a fellow Pennsylvanian, Benjamin Netanyahu Milikowski. I know. Pennsylvanians who love beheading people. What the heck is with them? God, those white men from Pennsylvania love to behead. Sad to see. Yeah, so Benjamin Netanyahu is actually went to high school in Philly. His father is Polish, y'all. Come on, a Polish man. His name was Milikowski, and you know what? He was like, I'm going to live my dream, and we're going to go to the desert. That's like, and so you know what? Little Benzian Milikowski, he went and changed. He was like, I don't care that like my family is not from the desert. I don't care that everyone around me is like, Benzian, what are you talking about? We are from Poland, Warsaw. What do you mean? But he was like, no, I have a dream. I have a dream. That white man had a dream. And it was to be like a kind of Arabian, like desert person. It's like, okay. So he changed his name. He Hebrewized it into Netanyahu. Netanyahu. That's like, I get it. And like the power of storytelling, right? You know, he's just like, I am going to live this desert fantasy. He hadn't even seen The Mummy, which is wild. Y'all ain't seen The Mummy? Okay. I was like, wait, what? Classic, what's his name? Brendan Fraser movie? Anyway, yeah, so one Polish man's dream, and now Israelis have the highest rate of skin cancer of any population. Very anti-Semitic. Sending a bunch of Jewish people to their death unnecessarily. You hate to see it. In 2024, too. 2024. This old age. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, also, you know Benjamin Netanyahu, he graduated from high school in Philly in 1969. Which was, as we all know, almost a year after MLK was assassinated. Coincidence? I don't know. Shortly after, he literally got out of Dodge and then joined the IOF, so I don't know. Anyway, speaking speaking of Israeli assassins, did you guys see that there were like those Israeli soldiers who dressed up like a bunch of Palestinians and doctors and elderly people and went into a hospital and assassinated Palestinians sleeping in their bed? It was great. It was crazy. Like on video, they're just, and it, like you got to see it. It's like the craziest like cosplay, like military fighter like kind of thing ever. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Also, I thought it was like not okay to embed yourself with civilians in a hospital. Like we couldn't do that. Is that like not a thing anymore? We're cool with that. Oh my God, so wild. But that's how white people do. Oh my God, they are bold. They're just like, we know the standard we set. We know that, you know, you can't do the savage thing, but we're just, it's like, we have reasons though. Also, why is Israel in the Eurovision competition if they're not European? Riddle me that! Because, you know, I remember us cutting, was the one, Russia? They cut them out of Eurovision. They were like, no, you can't. You invaded Ukraine? We don't play that here. I know, the European, we should have known something was going on. Like, wait, like, aren't the Russians also white? Whenever it's white people fighting white people, I'm always like, hold on, what's happening? Some kind of like a money thing is, some shenanigans are happening. Some white shenanigans are just afoot. Yeah, anyway, that was crazy. You know who I always thought, so you know King Solomon, right? I know. I took it back to a different Jewish man. King Solomon, though, I always thought that he was a black guy. Did anyone else think that? Maybe it's because I'm like named Sheba, and like I was like, oh yes, Queen of Sheba, and like he's like wise, and I was just like, that's a black guy. That's great. And as Israelis love to tell me, there are black Jews, so I guess that must be one of them. I've actually been, as a lot of people have been, going back to the Bible on this one. And I think, and I wonder if more people shouldn't do this. You know, take this if you need to. I know you guys love doing that. So, what would King Solomon do? WWKSD. If you're not familiar with the story in the Bible, you fucking heathen. King Solomon is supposed to be this wise ass king. I think he's like David's father or son or something. Who knows? They were whores back then. But, okay, so these two women come to King Solomon, who is this wise ass king. And they, one of the women's babies died in their sleep. And the other woman is trying to like claim this other woman's baby as hers. Cause like white people, I don't even know if it was a white person, but like that just sounds like a kind of a white woman thing. I'm sorry, it does. You know it does. Okay, so they like the woman, one of the women, sorry. It's like what happens? Oh, right. Okay. So they come to the king and they're like, yo, help us solve whose child this is. And like, how do we solve this? And so King Solomon is like, okay, great. Let's split the baby in half. Let's cut him in half. Let's kill him. Come on. Whoever wants it, like you both split it. Split it down the middle. Which isn't that the way that men fucking solve things? They're just like, just cut it in half. We'll deal with the fallout later. Anyway, the moral of that story is the woman who was like, no, she can have the baby, just like, don't kill it. And the other one was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, split it in half. Fine, I'll take it. Anyway, the woman who was like, spare the child's life. Like, fine, that was the mother. That was the one. Right? That was the one we're supposed to root for. And I feel like if we were to take that like story, that allegorical story, and apply it to now, really give a little WWKSD, we would be like, hey, okay, we've got this piece of land. We've got two people claiming to be the proverbial mother, if you will, of this land, motherland, you might say, and we don't know what to do with it. What are we supposed to, both people say it's theirs, and like, okay, King Solomon would be like, let's cut it in half, baby. But when we cut it in half, it is gonna ruin it. It's gonna cause a lot of murder. Everyone's gonna die. Hospitals are gonna get blown up. Mothers are gonna get shot by snipers. We're gonna dig up your olive trees. We're gonna burn your orange orchards. And we're gonna flood the land underneath with seawater in order to fairly cut this little baby. So yeah, which side is kind of willing to do that? They're like, one side of this conflict is like, oh, absolutely. Like, we'll supply the bombs, we will do it. We will raise this land so that we can develop it and settle it, but not settle it. It's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just kind of think the Palestinians are the mama. The ones who protect the land, okay? You know it. Okay, anyway, isn't it crazy that the US has never classified the KKK as a terrorist organization? The power of storytelling. Oh my God. Yeah, that is like, I'm very impressed with that, actually. And we are going to actually, in honor of Black History Month, we are taking a page out of white people's book and then perfecting it as Black people do. We are going to take Hasbara, turn it into something beautiful. More beautiful. Like, the power of Hasbara, have you seen what it's done? It's made Deborah Messing. I know, y'all like, who? I know. She's the woman who was on, she's Grace of Will and Grace, which everybody who saw Will and Grace knows that Grace was like the fifth funniest character, maybe. It goes, Karen, Jack, Will, then I would say Consuela, honestly, before Grace. Easily. Oh my God, and then sometimes Leslie Jordan was on, so Grace is out of the top 5. Sorry, baby, you 6 now. And it didn't even make top 5, not even the funniest. But Hasbro got her out here thinking she is Beyonce. No, not Beyonce. Just like maybe a Palestinian woman. She just like really wants to be like, I am special. I'm special now. Like, girl, shut up, Deborah Messing. But we are going to take that. Me and Billy are going to be developing this over the next couple of weeks. Not in an unpaid labor type of way, but, Hasbara is out. Blackspara is in. All right. Thanks, y'all. Love you.